Good morning, everybody. It's Marie with Get Clients Everywhere, and I'm very happy to welcome you here today on this Friday. And for those of you that may not know, Get Clients Everywhere is my business, and I'm a business coach, consultant, and a professional speaker. And I'm also the founder of the Women's Professional Development Network in Atlanta. And one of the things that I do for all of my amazing members is we do this interview. It's called Share Your Shine, where I actually get to put the spotlight on amazing people and have them share who they are for you and for their audience and for all of our audiences. And today, on this special day, I have Lulu Trevena, who is just a really cool woman. And I think she helped women really be cool. So this is going to be a fun conversation. I'm not sure all of where it's going to go, as I don't ever know with all the other guests that I have. But this is going to be a great thing. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about who Lulu is, and then we're going to turn it over to her. But Lulu is, I love this. Are you ready for this? She's the founder and creatrix. I love that title. It's just such a beautiful title of her business, which is called Live Life with Wonder. Now just imagine living life with wonder, not just living life to do all the stuff that we have to do, but to take a moment and just wonder. It's really, really great. So if you want to find out more about Lulu, I'll say this again. Her website is livelifewithwonder.com. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about who she is. Lulu is an award-winning author, and she is the stunning art and the poetic prose book, Soul Blessings. And I think you have a copy of the Soul Blessings with you. Just take a look at that. It's beautiful. I mean, look at that beautiful photo. It's just gorgeous. Thank you. And also, she has also an amazing card deck, which I happen to have here, which is just really beautiful, with beautiful messages, beautiful activities to do. I mean, it's really lovely. So what she is she's a facilitator, workshop leader, art of feminine presence licensed teacher, quantum healing practitioner, soulful living coach. I mean, we could go on and on and on, but she's passionate about shifting the social narrative about women and age. And I love that conversation since I'm kind of there. And I'm interested to hear about that. She supports women in their self-empowerment, honoring their personal growth and their dreams, and their way of embodying their full divine feminine presence and their power unabashedly. I just love that. Lifelong learner and a wonder finder. And Lulu, I want to welcome you here. I'm looking forward to having this discussion, and I want to start off by saying wonder finder. Say a little bit about what does wonder finder mean for you?
It's lovely to be here, Marie. Thank you for sharing this time together. It's lovely to spend more time with you than just at a women's network. So I really appreciate this time.
Yes, ma'am.
The word wonder has been in my life a long time, and especially when I had my children. I would watch my children with the wonder, like they could see something 10 times and they still had that degree of wonder. So I actually, when I started my business, I was still living in Australia. As you can tell from my accent, I'm not American. I just registered the name Live Life with Wonder because I feel that wonder is something that people really feel nurtured by and feel nourished by. When we're kind of stuck in a rut or a routine, it's usually that we've forgotten to be very present in the moment. So wonder is about bringing us into the present moment. So as opposed to being a seeker, which I've used as a word in my life a lot, I've changed it only fairly recently to the finder, the wonder finder. So I was really more looking at seeking the wonder, but now I actually speak from the words of finding the wonder. So, and you used a few words that you can tell as an author, words mean something to me, like the word creatrix, and the word unabashedly, like really using them because they actually do something in our body. So when we change some of our language, which is what I work with women on, changing the language so it actually really nurtures us. So yeah, being a wonder finder, I think when people get that wonder, they actually know truly in their body, so they really feel it on a deeper level. It's not just a cognitive thing. So I encourage people to daily look for places of wonder to help inspire them.
It's really great. I know sometimes, you know, I think when I go to the ocean or I go to Tuscany, which is one of my favorite places to be, I just am immediately transported into that state of being in wonder. Like, I understand what you mean by just like calming down, getting present, just looking, and then just taking in and being absorbed by all of that. And this is what you do when you work with women in your communities and in your groups. You help them to tap into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tell us about your groups. I think that would be great to know about.
So I do regular groups, and I've done them for well over 20 years. So women, women are they're very contained and feel very nurtured in their peers, but also there's often a sort of a part that we want to kind of keep separate. So when we create a very safe, sacred container, women are able to go a little deeper, a little deeper, a little deeper. And when we are witnessed by another person in the allness of who we are, it actually is very healing, not just on a human physical level, but I even like to say on a soul level. We get healed from being witnessed in all of who we are. So my circle's in Atlanta, of course, since we've been in this unusual time. I've been doing a lot more online, so they have continued. And then I also do retreats and workshops, so then women come together more for more like an intensive experience over a few days. Yeah, they get to take that depth that they get in the circle a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper.
Yeah, it's lovely. I think doing work like that, when you watch people start to unfold in front of them and they get present to their own magnificence, it's just really lovely. So one of the things that I'm familiar what you do is you help audiences embody the divine feminine presence. Could you say a little bit about that so that we can kind of get the world of that? Because I love that and I think it's really quite lovely.
Yeah, thanks. For I guess probably maybe the last 30 years, women have been much more empowered in the workforce, but sometimes they seem to step into more the male dominant way of being, to meet how business has been. And then there's the other part of the woman that is very heart-centered. We kind of lead a lot with our heart. So when I talk about embodiment, it's about bringing all aspects of yourself much more in alignment. And in particular, we actually do have both aspects. We do have a masculine and feminine aspect within ourselves, and sometimes they're not in harmony. So we need to bring them in harmony within ourselves, feel truly embodied in ourselves, that, our mind, our heart, and the full essence of being a woman are aligned, so that then that brings our own natural power forward, and we don't have to force the power. It actually arises from within us. So with my Art of Feminine Presence training and all the work I've done with women over the years, I have found that, they actually are looking for this realigning within themselves. They don't want it to happen outside. They actually want it really to be in themselves. And that's what they yearn for a lot. And as I spoke, often I'm working with women over 40. So they've done life how, society has imposed upon us. And then they get to this place in their life and they're like, yeah, I want to kind of redefine my own way, and so this is part of that way, is bringing all aspects of themselves in a really cohesive and harmonious alignment, so that their own innate power can come forward.
Yeah, it's really well said. I think there's always something that, all of us, we yearn for, or there's something that's missing or something that's off. And when we have alignment, it's so many wonderful things can happen in a variety of different ways. And sometimes we don't even know that we're not aligned until we realize that we're now aligned. You know,
And
there's that counterpoint.
and we're taught to seek outside ourselves. So, you know, and when we're looking out, it's actually making a bigger gap. So when we turn back in and really sink within ourselves is when, you know, much more becomes possible for us.
Yeah, I just really love that. And, you know, I think too, it's like even in this time, you know, we do have kind of a weird thing going on in the world here. It's a little bit unusual globally. You know, as we've spent more time by ourselves or just to, you know, have the opportunity to still sometimes, you know, we're not out running around doing all the kinds of things that we're doing. You know, I know for myself, I've been tuned into myself a little bit more about what it is that I'm either yearning for, what's off. And I'm amazingly surprised at how I've been like fine in a way with all of this. You know, it hasn't been an upset for me because I've done a lot of the kind of work that you do. And I think it's very important. And there's so many people that have not done that. They just really haven't been awakened, you know, to themselves. I know you like to work with older women. And I think there's something that you know about from the work that you've done that like women, let's say over 50, you know, which I am, is that what is it that women over 50 are really yearning for?
So I know you said the word older. I'm going to redefine that. We're still youthing. So,
Great.
yeah.
It's like Merlin in Camelot. He used to youthen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So, yeah, you know, there's this thing about the physical age, and then there's something different about our age that I think is what women yearn. There's some part of themselves that is both quite intuitive, quite connected to everything, and they want that aspect to come forward. You know, they've done a lot of the caring for others, and now they're really looking at caring for themselves. I love the book, The Female Brain by Dr. Luann Bresadine. And she discovered that she's a neuropsychiatrist, and she discovered that most of the studies on neurology or psychology or neurobiology was always done on men. And it's only in the last 10 or 15 years that we've actually studied more about women. And so the women, the brain of the woman is changing all the time, as it is with men, but the women come to a point in their 40s or 50s where it is more about coming back into themselves as opposed to always being outer directed. So the brain itself is actually directing a lot of women back to themselves. And so when women listen to that, they actually also can self-empower themselves. So the yearning goes for women of, similar to what I said about the masculine and feminine within themselves balancing, they now want to balance the outside world of the giving and receiving. And I've found a lot that women can give a real lot, but not always receive in an equal balance. So it's about getting that in balance as well.
yeah, it's really important. I know, you know, as a business coach, I work with people in business to help them go get their clients and how do they build themselves out. And it is very outward, you know. But one of the things that I've learned for myself in my own development, because I've been doing this for a long time, is that sometimes what I have to do is I have to go inside in order to go outside. And I have to get clear with my own self, my own values, my own interests, you know, what's really true for me, my own authentic, real, what is it that I want to communicate, and then to get that out there. And I think sometimes when people are starting their businesses, they're just kind of stabbing and going out and doing all the different things. And they haven't really taken the time to really look and see how does that settle inside of me. You use the term grounded soulfulness, which I love. I mean, I love the language that you use. It calls something, you know. I'd love to hear you say a little bit about what grounded soulfulness is for you and how we could tap into that.
Yeah. So, you know, we understand that word soul. So this is a presence that is omnipotent, like it's this huge presence. And in many spiritual practices, we're about connecting to that. So soulfulness, being grounded, is that we actually really want to feel that in our human form. We can feel that when we meditate and do different practices, but then bringing that from that place back into human life is what I classify as grounded soulfulness, that we know that we actually have this beautiful physical temple, our body, and while we're here on the planet, that whatever we do, we can do it through our body, so that we're bringing whatever we feel or experience in meditation or in expanded experiences, even like looking at a sunset. That's a very expanded spiritual experience. Bring that more into the practical, so ground that in our day-to-day living. So yeah, I think grounded soulfulness and wonder are kind of like a little marriage, and they work very well together. And I actually often say to myself, as my own internal dialogue, is that, as I said about the you thing, is as I age, I want wisdom and as much wonder or joy like a child with me as I'm traveling, so that I'm not, I guess, hardening in my approach to life. So I think there's a few passages in different texts about, the mind of a child. Have like the mind of a child. So that also speaks to me of wonder. So yeah, I know we're speaking separately about the grounded soulfulness, but it kind of, they all play.
It's a good dance.
Yeah, they're all friends.
Yeah, I really like that. I know that you've been trained in quantum healing.
Yes, yeah.
I know a lot of people don't really know what that is, but then, you talk about there's healing and then there's quantum healing. Could you share a little bit about that and how our audience might be able to tap into your expertise with that?
Yeah, wonderful. So, we know there's this quantum field, there's this quantum, there's the particles and, the expansiveness of everything. So the quantum field is the place of all possibility. So often when we do healing, we are doing it from a physical standpoint, but when we bring this quantum field into the healing, it opens up such a broader place of healing. And particularly in quantum healing, it's about anything that has happened in our life is on a timeline. So when it's on a timeline, we can look into past and future as one, and then heal on that timeline. So this gives something quite profound to us, from the point that it's not stuck. It's actually, anything can be healed when we actually find that place and heal it on the timeline, and then bring this beautiful energy of possibility of the quantum field in, that then we can actually rewrite our history. So it's a beautiful process. I've done many healing modalities in my, I want to say, 35 years of healing, and what I'm getting from the quantum healing with my clients and myself is, I think it's of this new age. It is something of this new age of time to stand in a really powerful place and don't let any of our history, and some of our history is actually handed over from other generations.
Ancestors.
So then we're healing that as well.
Question
So I'm open to clients reaching out to me around that, and especially I do that online as well as in person, and I'm looking forward to working with so many more people.
Great. You may want to, if there's a way to lean into your computer or the sound a little bit. That last piece just kind of went away. It sounds okay, but I just wanted to kind of, make our attention to it. I have a question with timeline. Is that the same thing that I know some people are getting certified in timeline therapy? I don't know if it's the same thing or not. There's a modality that's called that.
I haven't heard of that.
Okay. It's not what you do.
No.
But I understand the thing about a timeline because, you know, we are all energy and we absorb everything that happens. So it's really an important thing. What I want to do is really, in the time that we've got left here, I mean, you can see we could probably spend, 3 hours with Lulu and it just keep going. You can see the richness of what it is that she brings. If you wanted to find clients to reach out to you, how do you go about finding your clients, and who are the right ones for you where you could really make the biggest difference? Who is your ideal client, your special someone?
Okay, my ideal client is the woman that is ready to do even more work, even if she's done some work in the past. So she's turning towards herself a lot more. She, as I said, usually I'm working with women over 40. And my ideal client is a person who is about the rising consciousness of the planet. So in whatever way that looks, from her, creating something to help a community, or to, create something of herself, of, for example, like a book or something like that, that she is wanting to actually contribute back. So, leave a legacy in some way. And she actually wants to have a little bit more fun. I must say, wonder and fun and joy are part of this new woman of this age. I don't know if you're aware, Marie, but this week was my birthday and I turned 58. And my mum passed at 58. So it's been quite a journey looking at what a woman of 58, as I had in my consciousness, to who I am. And I also have the legacy of my grandma being 104, so the same matriarchal line. So I'm dancing with that, and so women that are willing to really dance with all of it, and be a profound change maker in the world.
Yeah, it's really lovely. In speaking about your birthday, it's like the ancestral thing that you carry there too, in terms of your mother and your grandmother, and I can really get that. I feel very connected to my ancestors, really. Most of which are in a good way. I'm sure that there's some things in my life that was my alarm. I'm sure that there's some things in my life that I'm not, even aware of, that how I'm affected over my life, through that. How I deal with relationships, or just myself, or, my physical body, my health habits, all of those things, What I would like to ask you is there something else? This is a rich conversation, and it's great to shine the light on you. And what I want to do is ask you if there's something else that you might like to say or to share with the audience that would really give the specialness of who you are and what you want to do with your work out there.
Yeah.
That will show how to connect with you.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I talked a lot about the quantum field, and I also talked about, the connection that we want to develop. So as you were talking, I actually just dropped into that. It's like, what does want to come through me? So what wants to come through me is to offer to the people watching this is just a little exercise. And we talked about generations. So many of you have probably done what's the term? A family tree. So in a family tree, if you just write the names of a family tree, and you might just want to do the female side, to get something, if you're a woman watching this, you might want to just do the female side. And on your family tree, I'd like you to write down just one thing that you feel is, maybe what we'd class in the negative side, like, they were very, judgmental or something like that, or, they were an alcoholic or something like that. So just one in the negative. And, I use those terms, negative, positive, slightly different than most people. I don't think there is really an exact negative and positive, just be all of it. But then in the other side, I'd like you to write down what they handed you as gifts. So they might have handed you, for example, my mother handed me the essence of community. She gathered community. She was in community with lots of people, with groups and women. So she taught me community without words. She just showed community. So that would be going in my side of the three things. One of them would be community. So I'd like you to do that as a little exercise and just have a real honor and a real reverence for those in our past, and even on the same timeline that we are now, you know, your sisters or your aunties or whatever, and see what there is that you have had as gifts, and, you know, what the things that are, you know, maybe a little bit niggly, to give you a really broad picture and have that as your own map or journey as you travel forward. So that's what came through me to offer to you.
It's really great. And if our listeners and watchers noticed, I loved what you did. You got quiet for a minute and you said, I want to see what wants to come through me. And I think that's the essence of getting present and being present to what's there. Because sometimes there's something that wants to be said that we don't want to say, but there's something that's there. And I think that's a really good demonstration of how that works. I could go on and talk with you all day. I actually have some fun ideas.
One of the things specifically, you showed my moments of transformation cards, and they were one of those processes of looking within myself and thinking, oh yes, I knew how they were supposed to be. I actually had to redo them 3 times because I wasn't listening really truly to them. I was trying to, they had to look a certain way, and by the 3rd time when they actually fully came in with the deepening process on them, they came like I imagined them at the start, but I was trying to, I guess, control the process of them. So they are like a little toolkit. You know, every deepening process will give you something rich for yourself, you know, and you could do one every day, and, you know, in the 44 days, a lot would move just from using the cards, which, you know, is the gift that I wanted them to be to the world. So yeah, the listening, you know, like I'm always looking more how to listen and less to force or push.
Yeah, it's really great. I'll just share I received this gift, I don't know, maybe a year ago, maybe a little bit more than a year ago, from Lulu, with the cards. And I love card decks. I mean, I just created my own card deck. They just kind of birthed about a month ago.
Yeah,
so, and I've loved playing with card decks. I bring card decks into conversations. I was doing a daily community call during this time, just to really reach out to people and be a space and a listening for what was going on. And we would often pull a card and different things, and I would use people's different cards. And often we'll use these if I'm doing a VIP day. You know, I bring cards, and at different times we kind of like change the focus and then really go inside and take a look at that. So I want you to know that I've really enjoyed them and I've used them, and there really is something that moves. You know, any of the card decks I work, I don't do something consistently every day, but when it just taps me in. Mm-hmm. That's something that I need to do, because it sounds kind of funny. I could say I'm tapped out, but, you know, it's because I'm always looking outward and helping other people, really looking outward, because to build a business, we need to connect with people, and they're out there. So it's really great. Lulu, this is really awesome. If people want to reach you, would you share with us like your website? If you want to share your phone number, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Okay, yeah, they go to my website, which is www.livelifewithwonder.com, and you can reach me also on there is a contact form there. My phone number is 404-644-4837, and of course that's in the United States, but I work with clients all over the world. So on my website you can use that contact form to reach me. And, you know, I do a lot of work online as well as in the physical form. So yeah, I look forward to connecting with as many people that feel, called to connect with me.
Yeah, it's really awesome. On your website, do you have any complimentary downloads on that where they can connect? So that's great.
Yeah, I have
Um,
a beautiful little rituals for the morning, which is very simple and once again very powerful. Um, and people can use that very straight away and feel the difference for themselves. And especially at this time, actually, these morning rituals are perfect for this time. They weren't designed for this time, but they're perfect for this time.
wow, I'm going to check that out for
Good,
sure.
good, good.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Lulu, thank you so much. I mean, this was really fun. I just have loved to go deeper with you. I've loved to shine the spotlight on you. And I hope that our listeners really will take advantage and go to livelifewithwonder.com and connect with Lulu and learn more about what it is that she offers, because the programs that any of us offer may not be the right ones for us. But if we really look, if we're really willing to explore and entertain, we always know someone that is right for that other person.
Yeah,
So, we're really connected. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your brilliance. And I've just really enjoyed this time together.
thank you. And of course, on my website, you can purchase my cards or books as well. And I really look forward to hugging you in person, Marie, when we get to see each other again.
That would be like spectacular. So
We're all
thank you.
giving hugs, more hugs.
We do. So for our listeners, I just want to say thank you for being with us here today. Again, this is Marie Fratoni with Get Clients Everywhere. If you want to see some of these interviews and see some of the things about me, you can go to my website, getclientseverywhere.com. And if you're a woman entrepreneur and you want to connect with the great women, you can click on the tab that says WPDN, or the Women's Professional Development Network. And I wish you all an amazing, happy Friday.
Blessings. Bye, Marie.